There was drama today in Rivers State as the Nigerian Army 6th Division accused the state governor, Wike, of attempts to compromise its officers to do his bid in the presidential and National Assembly elections. Governor Wike, who described the allegations as spurious, explained that the army is struggling to divert attention from reports of the killings by its officers and their role in the elections. Our correspondent, Emmanuel Iri, reports.
The political temperature in Rivers State appears not to be losing any degrees this time. The 6th Division Nigerian Army has dropped what many have described as weighty allegations against some persons, especially the governor of Rivers State, alleging issues of financial inducement and sponsoring political thugs, among others. Shouts and interruptions as the Deputy Director, Army Public Relations 6th Division, tried to put out allegations against persons arrested for electoral fraud. The Speaker tries to calm nerves, but the alleged suspects will take none of it, including the commandant of the Rivers State Government House, paraded with some exhibits. The Army Deputy Director then resumes his speech.
On Saturday, 23rd February 2019, at about 8:45 a.m., following a tip-off on attempt by Governor Wike's aides to induce and compromise troops deployed at the CBN Pt.2 premises, on personnel, Major A.P. Uba and 3 other police personnel, which include DSP Oyoku Ifele. And DSP Oyoku Ifele, for your information, ladies and gentlemen, is the camp commandant, Rivers State Government House. Sergeant Akanu Garba, Inspector Hyacinth Oboy, and Sergeant Inchetan Chuks were arrested by a team from this headquarters.
For the governor, the allegations make no sense.
Am I the EO? Am I an officer who alleged that the military came and collected all their materials? Did the 6th Division defend that to say it was not correct? The EO of Ome and local government did say the same thing. Now these are the electoral officers of INEC who have alleged that this was what they were doing. And this was what I have raised before. Now, that this was what they are trying to do in this 23rd of February presidential and National Assembly election. Now, instead of them to explain that to the whole world, they are not diverting that I tried to compromise them. How did I try to compromise you? In what way? I read it and it does not make sense to anybody. It does not make sense to anybody. You saw a government officer with $2 million. So what does that make? Does that make sense to me? Did you see money with me? Did I give you money? So if you see anybody who's working in government house and he has money with him, it means he was sent to come and compromise, and they said a central bank. Is there any polling booth at the central bank? Does it make sense?
There is also the recorded phone conversation by the governor.
Hello? I wanted to speak before you were. No, sir, I'm not angry. Who am I to be angry with the government?
Governor Wike sees nothing wrong with the call.
On that particular day, Dr. Noya called me and said, look, we have been arrested while we're escorting, as agents of the party, escorting the material to go to Odioku community, their own unit. And they were confronted, and they told them that they were agents of the party. They said, no, they were not going to leave them. And they said, okay, if you are not going to leave us, they will not also allow the materials to move. I said, why is this? And he told me, I said, okay, can I speak to the officer why he should arrest you? He said, the officer said they were not going to speak to me. I said, okay, you relax. Don't bother. Later, he sent me a text that he also said he's sorry that I can now call him. I said, what is the problem? He said, oh, they were at the junction and they comforted these people. I said, but, so what's the position now? He said, no, don't pray. And I said, okay. They let the man see you back and resolve the problem. Let anybody say where I said that he should do something I did not do, and I'm going to give him so. Let them show the type 20 times. It's unfortunate.
The issue seems far from over as more reactions are expected to trail these allegations. Emmanuel Ere, Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, the vice presidential candidate of the PDP, Mr. Pt.2, is demanding that elections are rescheduled for some states in the southeast, as he says people were obviously disenfranchised. Mr. Obi told our correspondent in Anambra State today that many people could not vote as the materials did not arrive for voting to take place.
Of you have seen a clear, well articulated and planned disenfranchisement of the Southeast. From the onset of this election, for us who are involved, there's been all sorts of harassment, intimidation of our members, PDP, culminating to when they sent materials to Anambra State, all the carriers that were sent to Anambra State was completely bought without any arrest or any thing that has been heard of it today. And we're told that it's been replaced and everything is okay. On the day of the election, there are several card leaders that were not functional. And if you recall that when I voted and you asked me what is happening, I said the process was clumsy.
The Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, says in spite of reported inadequacies that attended last Saturday's presidential and National Assembly elections in Kwara State, is wishing candidates who emerged from the election the best of luck. In a statement by a special advisor on media and publicity, the Senate President said while the election was generally peaceful, there were inadequacies like card readers not used in over 70% of the polling units, while there were multiple voting, overvoting, and other discrepancies reported by agents of the People's Democratic Party across the state. The statement adds that the state chapter of his party will take a position on the right response to the alleged inadequacies. The Senate President says, as a product of a family and political structure that is from its foundation devoted to the service and development of our state and its people, it is my wish that our people will always have a good deal at all times. The development will even provide the people the opportunity to compare and contrast. After all, the people who have emerged from last Saturday's election are not my enemies. They are fellow Kwarans. End of quote. He adds that whatever the final outcome of the election, the good people of Kwara State will always have the best from any government, both at state and federal levels. The National Assembly has adjourned sitting till March 12th after the governorship and state houses of assembly elections have been held. Both chambers were unable to form a quorum as no more than 10 lawmakers were available for plenary. The Senate plenary was presided over by the Senate President, Bukola Saraki, while that of the House of Representatives was presided over by the Speaker, Yakubu Dogara. The National Assembly was scheduled to resume sitting on February 9th, but had to postpone it by a week following the postponement of the presidential and National Assembly elections, which was initially scheduled for February 16th. Members of the People's Democratic Party in the Shomolu area of Lagos say they are vehemently opposed to a proposed rerun election for the Federal House of Representatives. Party members from the area were at the Yaba office of the Independent National Electoral Commission to protest what they describe as electoral fraud against them. Meanwhile, INEC has promised to look into the matter.
Members of the People's Democratic Party in Shomolu protest what they describe as a fraud in their area as they bring their complaints to the office of the Independent National Electoral Commission in Yaba, Lagos. A member of the group rolls on the ground perhaps to send home their grievance.
They say they are here to protest to INEC that there were no results from their constituency and that because the electoral umpires asked them for a rerun election, they say no.
They have asked us to agree to a rerun election. On what basis are we doing a rerun election? When all figures they have given to us are figures that they have written on their own.
We have won.
The result sheets were taken away before election. We put it before their doorstep. Let them say we did not meet them with it. Before we knew it, they went to replace them. Where those things came from, we are ready to take it to the last.
Yes,
no to this cheating.
Yes,
we have not contested anything with them.
The leader of the protesters makes his way into the INEC office to submit their protest letter, which prompts an INEC official to address the crowd.
I've told you, not all your questions can be addressed by me. I will deliver your message to the resident electoral commissioner who is in charge of Lagos affairs.
To provide those agents.
The resident electoral commissioner will keenly look into your letter with a view to doing the justice.
With assurances from INEC that the matter will be looked into, the protesters insist that the electoral body abide by its own guidelines to resolve the issues. Bukola Joe Oketumbi, Channels Television News.
The police have confirmed the killing of 29 people, including a policeman, in a fresh attack by gunmen in 4 communities of Kajuru and Kachia local government areas in Kaduna State. The gunmen who attacked in the early hours of Tuesday were also said to have razed over 40 houses before they were repelled by a team of security forces. Meanwhile, the Kaduna State Governor, Nasir El-Rufai, has condemned the renewed attacks in Kajuru and Kachia. The governor, in a statement through his spokesman, Samuel Arwan, says the state government has been assured that the security agencies are working assiduously to contain the situation, while calling on the people of Kajuru and Kachia to support efforts by security agencies to restore calm in the area. The 4 communities, Karamai, Gidan Gajere, Gidan Auta, and Chibia, all under Maro district, are villages that came under attack 2 weeks ago.